Hey everyone, this is a trader investor. Today, my brother asked me to analyze a few stocks just to see if we're aligned in how we're viewing at them. And instead of just doing it one on one with him, I just decided to do a video recap so you can see my process, how I view each chart. And some of these symbols are symbols I've never seen before, so it will be a good way for you to see how I take on a brand new stock, whether it's crypto, forex, ETF, futures, it doesn't matter. I do the same process. This is how I follow this process. So my starting point is save, structure, area of value, and execute. So I look at, is there a structure from a longer time frame, and then going down to a lower time frame, how is that structure maintained? Is it broken? Is it intact? And are we coming into an area of value, whether it's a pullback or a rally? Are we going into that space? And so what I want to look at is looking at the structure and area of value. I'm only looking at price. I'm looking at, are we making higher highs, higher lows? What is the price telling me? Are we in a consolidation? That's the main thing I want to look at. And as I look at the price movement, I don't use any other indicators except for support and resistance. You will see on my chart a few other indicators down below, but those are just things that will help me gauge overall sentiment, things that will help me gauge if there are turning points that price is telling me, and just confirming with some other indicator just as a confirmation. But my main decision point is price action. Price is king. Support and resistance. Support and resistance could be in the form of a horizontal support and resistance, or it could be a trend line, which is a channel going up or down depending on the market that we're looking at. So let's dive into charts and go through that. So I have the list here that he gave me, and the first one is APPS. Some of these companies, like I said, I don't know what they are. I don't know what they do. I really don't care when it comes to short-term swing trading. Fundamentally, I'm not looking at that. I'm only looking at the technical analysis. So when I look at the monthly, it's in a very, very strong up move for a few months now, right? Since last April, it's been tearing it up. So that's something that is good to see. And now I want to look at, this is my structure. I want to look at area of values where price comes to my trigger entry area so that I can go enter a position. So from my monthly, I go to the weekly. Now the weekly will tell me a more shorter term time frame, what is happening, is there any possible areas that I could take advantage of, because the monthly, as you saw, was really almost like a vertical line. But what I see in the weekly here is a consolidation. I see this consolidation on the weekly time frame. So here is possible areas where, when it comes down to the lower end, I want to see what is happening. It's critical for me to see that, even when we're testing the lower end, if price could break it momentarily, that's the shakeout area, right? And then it will reverse. It will continue to do this. But if this is not a terminal shakeout in the Wyckoff's term, if this is not a terminal shakeout, and if it's a true breakout, then what we will see is price will do this. So this is what I want to look at as I look at my support and resistance area, consolidation area. So from the weekly, I will go to my daily time frame, and on the daily, it's very clear. It is very, very clear that we're inside a consolidation. This is what I mentioned by possible shakeouts, right? This is fake breakout. This bar right here appeared to be a breakout to the downside, but the very next day price reverses. So you want to be careful and not be in a hurry to enter these positions. Like I showed you on the weekly, you want to see price do this, test some support area, and continue its way down. So this is too aggressive of an entry. The more precise entry is waiting for this to happen and then enter when price breaks this lows. So that's our entry. This is our entry. So this is how I'm looking at the structure currently. Currently, I'm not seeing anything that tells me it's time to go long or short. Somebody could say, let me play this box here. So because we're at support, I want to see it go to resistance. That's a valid entry. That's a valid analysis. So what I will do in that particular case is I will go to my hourly. This is my trigger point. And here on the hourly, it is extremely important that, we are making lower lows here. We're making lower lows. From yesterday to today, we made lower lows. So this was a low, and this is a lower low. So for this to be invalidated, for me to enter on the long side, I want to see some of these highs broken, and I want to see price, after it breaks that, I want to see price do this. And so this will be my kind of confirmation that we made a higher low, right? That's important. We see a higher low, and from there, when something is broken here, then this could be my entry, right? This could be my entry. But for now, I am not seeing that we are in a state to even play that box. That box, you can see it very clearly even on the hourly. You can see it here. So we're in this box here. And I want to make sure that, when we're playing in this box, we're either at the top side and we're making lower highs, like in this case, or we're making higher highs, like, like in this case, for example, we made a high, higher low, higher high. So, but, it was kind of too late to get in there. But, this is how you would play this box. And if I really wanted to play this box, I would probably even go down to a lower time frame, maybe like a 15 minutes time frame to play it that way, so that I can take advantage of this movement. But overall, for me, because my hourly is my trigger point, and this is what I want to see on the hourly, this is my trigger point. Therefore, I want to make sure that I get my confirmation. I don't blindly go enter a trade. So this is how I analyze them. So now I'll go a little bit quicker as I go through each one of them, starting with my monthly for AVNT. I think it's AVNT. So looking at my monthly, up consolidation, very, very deep pullback on a monthly basis. And then we have a new uptrend since July, since April, really since April, we have a nice uptrend. And when we talk about pullbacks, no matter what time frame you're looking at, you have, pullbacks all the time. Yeah, pullbacks all the time. Some of them are deeper than others, and in a downtrend, you also have rallies, right? You have rallies, and then rallies can get reverted back down. So critical to note this as well. So my monthly currently is in an uptrend. So that takes me to the next chart, which is my weekly. On a weekly basis, this is quite interesting here. because we made a high, a higher high, another higher high, and our lows, we're making higher lows. Now, if this is a higher low, then we could enter at the break of this high. But usually when I see a big move already happening like this, whereas, 2 or 3 pullbacks, 2 or 3 higher highs, I'm more cautious and not in a hurry to enter this. I might wait for a deeper pullback or a reversal uh, before I enter, or even play on the downside. But I'm okay to skip trades. Being on the sideline is okay, right? So I'm okay to skip trades. So on the weekly, that's what I'm seeing. Now, when I go to my daily, we're seeing, some of the lower pullbacks here. Now, it's had a good run up, but this is a strong pullback here. So it's fair to say maybe we're starting a new trend. So because we're starting a new trend, we only have, 1, 2. So at the break of this, we can enter. If we're analyzing at the end of the day and we're only willing to enter at the end of day and don't have time during the cash market hours to look at, hourly charts. But if you were to look at hourly charts, then the best thing to do is we have formed here, we formed, let me erase some of this. So we formed a higher low. We're making higher highs. So now I want to see price do this so I can enter here, right? Because we've already missed this entry, right? This was a good entry. We've missed it. Now we wait for a second opportunity to enter here when we get a new higher low. Important, right? Very, very important that we have a higher low. Extremely important we have a higher low to re-enter. Otherwise, it could be reversed, right? This pullback could be a heavier pullback where we have a high here and we have, a lower high here, right? That could be the case. That's why I want to make sure that, we're getting this reversals before we enter any position. So let's go to the next one, boot, BOOT. So you can see the full tickers there, starting with monthly, very, very good uptrend. Weekly is in a consolidation. So what I'm seeing is some sort of a flag. This is a bull flag, a pennant. And so at the break of these highs is a good place to enter. If you're extremely confident when you go to the daily, right? Here's our flag. So if you're extremely confident when price does, if this becomes a new low, right? When price does this, then we can enter here. So let me quickly mention what some of these indicators are. The all the way at the bottom is the put call ratio. This is just to gauge what the overall market sentiment is. Right now it's at 0.88. Above 0.8 is cautionary area. Above 1 is extreme fear. That's how I gauge it. And because I don't want to see the numbers, I just see colors. So yellow is caution, red is extreme fear, and blue is extreme greed. Same thing for the VVIX, except different numbers, right? The VVIX is the volatility of the VIX itself. So above 110 caution area, above 120 extreme fear. When these two are both red or one red, one yellow, then I'm more careful on my long positions. I'm more thinking of exiting positions or hedging. And then I have my own oscillator, and I use that mainly to see if there is divergence between price making higher highs. And so let me erase this and show you something interesting in this particular case. And if we look at this day here, if we look at this day here, and we look at divergence, so price is making higher highs. But at the same time, my oscillator is making lower highs. And just so you can see this area here, right, in this area. So price is making higher high, but oscillator is making lower high. So I see a divergence. So what that means is even if I see a break above this high, I'm not entering a position because I see a divergence. I don't even need to go to the hourly, on February 25th, just to show you how I'm using this oscillator as a divergence, just to see, right? It's not my decision maker. It's just lets me know, okay, there's some divergence. Be cautious and be on the lookout. But where we are now, because we have formed that flag, right? Because we formed this flag. Oops. Before we form this flag, it could be what is it called? I'm looking up at my charts because sometimes I forget names of patterns. I just trade them. But when we have a triangle forming megaphone, sorry, that's the term I was looking for. When we have a megaphone forming, then we could break to the upside and continue to go long. It's a good idea to have a cheat sheet of chart patterns. In front of me, I have chart patterns, and then next to me, I have candlestick patterns just to remind me when I forget stuff. And so when I go to my hourly then from daily, what I want to see here is I want to see this being a low, and I want to see somewhere a new lower low, right? So, and then, maybe price does this, something like this, or it could be something like this, right? Either way, I get a new higher low. I make a new higher low, and when I break that recent high, then I can go long. So this is how I would look at entering this position. But right now, I am not seeing anything that tells me it's time to enter right now. However, I am seeing that we've broken the recent highs, right? So we've broken this recent highs here. Because we broke it here, I'm starting to get confident that it could be a potential reversal. So, put some sort of an alert, or just keep it on your main watch list. Make sure you're watching it to prepare. So I know we spent a few minutes on each one of these, so let's go quicker. Very nice uptrend, few months. All this few months is very nice uptrend on a weekly. Very shallow pullback. Looking at the daily, we see that pullback. Now I want to see this. If I'm only trading, for example, the daily, I will draw this trend line, and as soon as this trend line is broken, then I can enter, right? If price breaks it, tests it, I want to make sure there's a test and goes this way, we will have, you know, a low here and a higher low here. And at the break of this, we can enter. So I'm preparing for that. But until that happens, there's no entry. Now, what we can do is look at the hourly then. We can look at the hourly and make sure, even before this trend line is broken, if the hourly says, hey, I am going to make, you know, a new higher low, then that gives me confidence, you know, we're near that trend line, it gives me confidence to enter. So this is how I would look at this. All of these, keep in mind, all of this analysis is for short-term swing trading. So that's why I'm very particular when I pull the trigger on each one of these. Different people might have different ways of viewing them. It's not about being the only one right. It's about finding a way, a strategy, a plan that works for you so you can trade your plan. That's critical. Next one, EAT, monthly, beautiful. Monthly, this is beautiful. Weekly, same thing, some pullbacks, could be some deep pullbacks. On the daily, here's interesting on the daily. Let's zoom out here so you can see what's interesting. So we are making some lows, right? So always support is a zone, not a specific point. So this zone here is acting as support. This zone here is acting as support. So we're testing it once, we're testing it again, and we broke out of it. So it's great. So if we see price breaking this highs, then it's safe to assume we can continue this trend. And if we look at the hourly, this is where we get our early entry. So on the hourly, I want to see, let me erase these. I want to see this broken. Next, I want to see price do this, right? Either this highs or a little bit deeper, make a higher. I want to see price make a higher low and then resume the trend. And at the break of this pullback, I am confident to enter. And you know, another thing that I'll mention here regarding stops, risk to reward. When I'm entering here, this zone is my stop. I don't have to go all the way here. This is my stop zone. And there's a very small distance, and then 2 or 3 times more than that is where my exit is. And usually, let me give you a bonus here on how I set up my exit. I just go Fibonacci retracement high to low, and the 1 to 7 extension is my target one. If I see price stalling near recent highs, that's my target one. By target one, I mean 50% of my positions are off. So if price shoots through the recent highs, great. If it's stalling, even for one day, if it doesn't reach above it, I'm taking off 50% of my positions. My stop is tighter, and I can wait for the next leg up, or I get stopped out. So I just wanted to give you that bonus way of calculating my exits. So Hain, monthly uptrend, weekly, that uptrend is continuing to show strength. There's some pullbacks on the daily. Now daily, I am seeing deeper pullbacks, and I'm also seeing, you know, double tops. I'm seeing double tops. So this, to me, is a sign of either reversal or consolidation. So this could be consolidation, or it could be a reversal because we're seeing double tops. So I want to see what price does when it gets to this zone. I want to see what it does, and so that we can go to the hourly chart and make a decision for entry on the hourly. Right? It's a decision for the hourly. We have a low. I want to see highs broken, and I want to see lower, higher lows made. Same concept for all of them. If price does this, and this, same concept. Because we only have this reference for a low. So I want to see another low somewhere here, or it could be higher, but I want to see another low. So that will be my entry, my smallest amount of risk reward, right? So the smallest amount of risk that I can take is waiting for this. Think about this. If you were to enter right now, if you were to enter right here, where is the logical stop? The logical stop is down here. I don't want to go all this distance. I don't want to wait for that distance to be told I was right or wrong. Because trading is about stacking the favors, stacking the edge in my favors, stacking the odds in my favors, putting everything to my side. And then when I'm wrong, I'm only wrong now. Look at this. So if this was what is happening, I'm only wrong this distance instead of being wrong this distance. So this is too much for me. You could say, look, I'll make sure I have 2-to-1, 3-to-1 target based on this risk. But what is the probability of price reaching that high in a short period of time? Because we are traders, not investors in this instance. If you're investing, you're not even looking at charts because you're looking at the fundamentals. You might look at charts to find, $5, $10 improvement in entry, but as an investor over 30 years, the $5 might not make a difference. So let's go to the next one. Monthly uptrend, but monthly is showing some sign of weakness. Monthly is showing sign of weakness because we are forming a double top. Price got rejected. It broke these highs, but it got rejected. It's trying to make it again, but it's still not showing me any sign of strength to say we're going to go above it. In this particular instance, even on the monthly, I want to see this area broken on the monthly for me to have some confidence in this market. So I'll just quickly show you the weekly. Because I'm seeing this again, for me, because the monthly is showing me some weakness here, it's showing me some weakness here. I'm not very comfortable yet to enter this market. It's okay that I'm wrong. It's better to be on the sideline than to risk too much when you're not comfortable. For me, the trading is about if I see the chart and I'm not happy with it right away, that chart is not for me. So it's okay to be on the sideline. And as you go down to the daily, very good confirmation. Where it's a very choppy, very, very choppy. There's no clear structure, right? On the daily, there's no clear structure. On the monthly, it looks like structure could be broken. On the daily, there's no clear structure, no entry for me there. So let's go into the next one. And again, we start with our monthly. This is a fairly new company. It IPO'd May of last year, fairly new. So I don't know what to say about this trend. It looked like it started high and it recovered the loss of that high, So has it really gone up, or has it just recovered, the initial starting point? It opened at 26, it went all the way down, 16 and change, went up to 32, and back down to 27. So I don't know what to say about this. Like I said, if I'm not comfortable, I'm skipping. But just for the sake of the analysis, let's look at this. Again, very confusing chart on the weekly basis, except you can say it's starting to make higher lows, higher lows, higher highs. Then, let's see if the daily is giving us an opportunity to enter, right? So that's what we want to look at. Now, I want to make sure as, let's see, erase these. I want to make sure as we're making these higher lows, I want to see this high broken, because I don't want this to act like a trend line like this, right? I don't want this to be a lower high and price keeps going down. That's not what I want to see. I want to see this trend line broken. I want to see this high broken, and I want to see us making a higher high above these lines. We need to make higher high above those lines. So for that, this is not company I'm going to get behind for my short-term trading. I'm definitely skipping this because I don't understand it. That's how I view it. If I don't understand it, I'm not getting into it. Next one, monthly, big down bearish movement, and we're recovering maybe about 40% or so of that bearish movement. We are making higher lows. So is it okay to enter? Let's see what the daily tell us. I mean, this is monthly, so let's see what the weekly tell us. So on a weekly basis, we're starting to see those higher lows formed. We're starting to see higher highs. So this is good. This is a good sign of a reversal. And let's go to the daily. Let's go to the daily and see if we are noticing anything of a divergence happening. And I'm not seeing anything glaring at me between these lows. I'm not seeing anything that glaring. So what I would like to see is on a daily short term, it looks like it's a strong bullish movement. So as long as we are maintaining this, and as long as we are maintaining this, I'm okay to bounce off the highs and lows, right? Doing this and this. It's okay that it continues to do this because we're going to continue to make higher lows. So that's the idea. So as long as we're doing that, that's fine. So is there any opportunity right now? If we look at the hourly, or have we missed it? Not yet. Oh, very good. See, we have not missed it because we are making a new higher high. This makes me happy because we have a new higher high. We have a new higher low. And so now we've missed it. We haven't missed it. I wouldn't enter here. I want to see a pullback from the new higher high so we can enter here. So this really is what I'm looking for. So this is my risk area. This is what I want to enter. If you had entered at the break of this for a very aggressive entry, your stop is just this one bar low. I don't know if I want to trade a 1 bar as my stop loss, it's okay. Or you can go 1 ATR below that 1 bar, depending on what the ATR is. That's also fine. But for me, this what I want to see is a pullback followed by another rally. So breakout of these highs. So this looks promising. It has potential for entry when I am focusing on the daily. But if I focus on the weekly and hourly, on the weekly and monthly, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet, but it's okay. So let's go to Seagate. Seagate on a monthly, playing in a range, but we broke out of the range. We broke out of this range last month. So what does the weekly show us? So the weekly show us this is the range that we broke out of. What I would like to see is, as price is testing this, is price to reverse using this top of the box as our support line. So reverse from that support line, break these highs, and this would be a nice entry here. So this again has potential. So I'm going quicker as we're doing this last one. So monthly, what is monthly saying? Monthly uptrend, but in consolidation. This is a monthly consolidation. Every time frame has its own consolidation. This is a monthly consolidation. If we go to weekly and zoom out, we see that same consolidation area here. We're in consolidation. So if we go to daily, you can take advantage of that consolidation when price is, at the base, go long. When price is at the top side of the box, go short. That could be a potential setup. But consolidation is something that I usually wait for. I want to see a break of that consolidation area, completely broken, and then I want to see on either side, price breaks it, rallies and continues, or breaks it, pulls back and continues. Either side I'm okay. This is what I want to play. If I want to spend a little bit of time on this, then I can go to the hourly and the 15 minutes, but that's not my style. I don't want to spend all day looking at charts. 2 to 3 minutes every hour, that's all I want to spend looking at charts. I do most of my analysis in the evening, getting ready for the next day. So this is all I want to look at. And so based on this, I don't see any setup here. And on the hourly, so if you were playing the box, right? If you were playing the box, you're playing it here, you're playing it here, you're playing it here, you're playing it here. If this is what you were doing, higher low, higher high, you've already missed an entry here. And so I would not play this yet, but it's potential setup coming up. But for me, I want to look at the daily and just focus on that. So with that, this wraps up all the symbols that my brother gave me earlier today. This is my analysis. So if you want me to analyze any other stocks, if you want me to go through this process for anything that you're following, crypto, forex, stocks, ETFs, index, futures, anything, just put it in the comment section, and I'll make sure to create a video for it. So have a great evening, morning, day, whatever time zone you're looking at, and I'll put another video for you to follow just right above here, just something that will show you additional information on how I look at pullbacks and how pullbacks terminate. So I'll put up that video for you. Take care.